to the Today is Your Day show. I'm your host, Jonathan Davis, and I'm so excited and elated that you decided to join us this evening or this morning or this afternoon, whenever you are watching. I thank you for being a part of the show today. As always, let us start with prayer. So, Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this wonderful day that you have blessed us to see, this wonderful day that you've allowed us to be in, this wonderful day that you've allowed us to live through. Lord, I don't take that for granted. I hope those that are watching don't either, because we couldn't or we didn't have the power to wake ourselves up, but you did. And you decided, hey, I'm going to give them another chance to live out my will. So we thank you, God, being so gracious to us to allow us to see another day. Lord, I pray that those that are watching understand that you are right there with them no matter what they're going through. It's going to be okay. Help them to understand this too shall pass. All will be well, and that your hand is in the midst of it to help them understand that, hey, I know this seems like hell, but there's got to be a lesson within this journey. Because if God didn't want me to be a part of this, or want this to be in my life, he wouldn't allow it. But we also have to understand that he gives us choices. He's a gentleman. And so he allows us to make the choice to either choose him or the world. And so we thank you, God, for just being loving and gracious to us. I ask that this show be a great one, that someone hears something that will find a blessing, a nugget, something that can get them closer to you, and that they will just enjoy and be enlightened for something, just a smile or just a nugget that they hear. So we thank you for that, Lord. I pray for great Wi-Fi, great service, and that we hear our guests well and see our guests, and you do the same for me as our audience is watching. We thank you, we praise you in your Son Jesus' name. Amen. And so, as always, let's hear some announcements. And here are your announcements. Look, I need you to go to www.davisconsultantsgroup.com and go get your 31-day daily devotional. I'm calling all ministers, people that are over organizations, business owners. This book will be such a blessing to you. I'm telling you, you get this book. It's really easy to read and to follow through on your 31-day daily devotional. Listen, you do these things, you will see a great difference in your organization, your ministry, and your business. I truly believe that God downloaded to me these words to bless your business. So go today, www.davisconsultantsgroup.com, and get this devotional. It will be a definite blessing for not only you, but those that come in contact with your business, your organization, or your ministry. Listen, we are wanting to live a healthier life. I'm an ambassador for Plexus. I'm also a client. I take my products daily, and it has done a great number on my health. My health journey has gone from like 10 to 100, because I'm not only sleeping better, I have better digestion, I have more energy, I'm focused more. Listen, what you need is to call me, hit me up on Facebook, or reach out to me on davisconsultantsgroup.com, and let's talk about some Plexus and how I can help you on this health journey that you are in need of. We have some great prices and some great products that I believe will truly be a blessing to you and your health. Hey, if it's not for you, reach out for someone else. Somebody else is in need. They may have pain. They may need some energy. They may need some gut health. Listen, we got it all right here with Plexus. Hit me up either on Facebook, or you can hit me up on my website, davisconsultantsgroup.com. We want to be a blessing to you, but I want to make sure that we are living this life to the fullest and the best that we can. And you can only do that being healthy. Listen, our sponsors are making sure that you don't miss out on this book study of Daniel. They're doing this Bible study class, the book of Daniel, and it has been truly, truly a blessing. It was so good in August. They have moved it over to September because they don't want you to miss all that the book of Daniel has to tell you. My life is being changed every Thursday when I go to this class on YouTube. at the Proclamation 101. I want you to do that right after this show. I want you to go to YouTube and look up the Proclamation 101, press subscribe, hit the little bell to make sure that you do not miss anything that they have going on. And we want to thank the Proclamation 101 for being a sponsor for the Today Is Your Day show. Also, we can't forget about Davis Consultants. Listen, what do? We do mentoring, coaching, life coaching. We do business consulting and business coaching, and also ministry consulting. Listen, we have all got these callings. We have these businesses. We need to make sure how to move these things forward. And I believe that we can give you the strategy. We can work with you to help you get to where you have been desiring to be. You don't have to worry about paying at first. Listen, we can have a consultation, a free consultation, and we can talk about what you are desiring and how we can be of assistance to you. Don't miss it. Reach out to us at www.davisconsultantsgroup.com. That's www.davisconsultantsgroup.com. Listen, I want you to be a blessing to those that are in need of whatever you have to offer. And you can only do that if you get started and get your stuff together, and we can be of assistance to you. All right, these are your announcements. Now, let's hear our Today Is Your Day show moment.
So you have to sometimes realize that everyone doesn't want to change. I know we may love them, we may, care so much and hurt every time they make these wrong decisions, but they understand what they're doing to their lives and in their lives. But we continue to stress ourselves to try to pull them out, to try to lead them in the right direction as they steer their way back to the wrong direction. And at the end, they're still living their life, and we're the ones stressed. We're the ones carrying that burden. We're the ones stressing so much that it starts to affect our health. So I'm here to help you out. We need to just let them go. It's okay to love them from afar. It's hard. It can be very tough because you can see the potential. You see this greatness in these people or that person. But you also need to see yourself hurting yourself every time you keep trying to steer them in the right direction. Sometimes you just got to let them go and let God. But I'm here to tell you today, make the decision to let them go. Not fully, just allow the string to get a little bit longer, because you have to make sure you're good. A lot of times we're trying to help and take care of others, but we forget about ourselves or not notice the danger or the hurt or the pain or the stress that we're putting on ourselves. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to help out. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes it's best to let those loved ones go. Remember, today is your day.
I'm Eugene Perry
I'm Donna Perry, and we're the host
of Young People Nation
podcast.
We know that mental health is way too stigmatized. Young people are hurting. They are in dark places, just wanting to feel heard.
That's why we're bringing no judgment conversations with the guests who have been there, done that, and want to share their experiences in an environment with transparency, healing, and safety.
So tune in and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And just remember,
there's always hope.
And there is always hope. And I hope, as always, that you tune in on podcast for Young People Nation. Go to your podcast and look up Young People Nation. They are being a true blessing to those that listen. And I listen myself, and I've learned so much, and just take it in and then ask myself questions on the things and topics that they're talking about. A lot of us, carry these hurts and pains and things that we've been compressing, just keeping on the inside. And we need to let it out. We need to let it out and not realizing that we're still holding on to those things and it's affecting our adult lives. But I want to thank Young People Nation podcast for being the sponsor for the Today Is Your Day moment. You can catch them every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on podcast, but also you can head over to YouTube and catch Young People Nation podcast and watch it or listen to it there. Listen every Thursday, Super Thursdays. You got Young People Nation podcast at noon, and then you have the Proclamation 101 at 8 p.m. Thursdays. The Super Thursdays, Young People Nation at noon, and the Proclamation 101 at 8 p.m., both at Eastern Standard Time. So set your calendars, set your alarms to make sure that you don't miss either one for Super Thursdays. So I'm really excited about my guest. I'm going to bring on up Mr. Lawrence Salley, who I have known for quite some time now. But you know what? We've known each other quite some time, and we have never met in person.
Never. Wow.
Met on Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And had a conversation, just hit it off from the moment we started. So I have been blessed with this young man from whatever he's doing. Whatever he does, whatever his hand touches turns to gold, let me tell you.
Listen.
And he has some great nuggets and things that he's going to share with us about the things that he is a part of and doing. But also, I've been a part of his business as one of his image consultants that he has been blessing me to be a part of. So I'm excited that he is here on the show. And I want you to tell the people who you are and all that you're part of.
Oh, wow. So first of all, thank you, Jonathan, for allowing me to be a guest on this show. I was so thrilled and honored when you first reached out to me. I'm like, heck yeah, I'll be on this show. So I'm very happy about that. I see some familiar faces and friends in a chat as well. So what's going on, Prophet Byron? Good to see you. My name is Lawrence, and of course, some of you all know that already just because of the introduction. I am a photographer. I'm also a consultant in many ways. And so I'm let you know, family's coming into the door, so it's probably going to get a little
It's live. It's all good. We're enjoying it anyway.
Yes.
Hey, family.
So, but I am a photographer. I've been in photography for about 10 years. Prior to photography, I actually was doing marketing for churches because I'm a PK. So I've been doing that. And so it just kind of became full circle recently for me to also open up a marketing solution firm or marketing agency, essentially. But outside of that, I'm a father, I'm a husband. We've been married, just 9 years this year. We're going on 10 years. Then we have a wonderful daughter who just turned 7. Outside of that, I am a worship leader at my church. I am an ordained elder. I have a lot of hats.
And you wear one right now.
I do a lot. So yeah, that's who I am. I love the Lord.
That's right. He loves you. And so you brought up your business,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you just started one.
Mm-hmm.
The name?
So this is the second business, which is LSJ Marketing Solutions.
Awesome. And so what do you offer?
So for that, I offer everything from I'm not going to say everything because I really wanted to do a different angle into marketing because marketing is such, such a large beast. There's so many facets of marketing. Even the photography that I do and the branding in that is a part of marketing. So I really wanted to focus on helping entrepreneurs start their business the right way and really identifying certain documents and processes. Processes that we need. this is so ghetto. In order to really like run your business successfully. And so I offer email templates, newsletter templates. I even go into cover letters and resumes for those who are trying to build their professional branding, even biographies. I offer policies and procedures, business plans, marketing plans, and a lot of these could be basic or very well advanced and fully built out. And then I offer website hosting for the traditional marketing that a lot of us are familiar with, including like social media management. I don't really do a lot of social media management, but I do more so the content creation, so I can create up to a year of content for you, and that's literally 365 content, like for you. Like it's not just once a week. It's depending on how you want your business to be seen on social media. So that's pretty much the scope of what I offer for the LSJ marketing solutions.
And so let's go back, and then I definitely want to break down some of the things that you
Yeah.
offer. How did we get here? How did we get to
Mhm.
um, just really having a business?
So, I believe that entrepreneurship has always been in my blood. I just did not know how it was going to come about. When I look back in my family history, I can say that we've had businesses in our family. I have a cousin who has a beauty salon. My grandmother, she owned a beauty salon. She didn't actually do the hair; she was just the owner of it, as
Mhm.
well as catering. So I've always been connected to businesses. I think what drove me to really get further into starting businesses was uh, 9 to 5. I despised working 9 to 5. I cannot explain it. I can't explain it. I've worked everywhere from I've done call centers for like benefits. I've done call centers for financial tech industries. I've done risk, fraud, even paralegal. I've done a lot of customer service, I guess you can call it retention, quality control. Like I've done a lot within the 9 to 5 world, and although I was good at it, I grew bored of it. And when I grow bored of something, my performance starts to go down. And that's how it was with the 9 to 5. And I know some of you, I'm about to tell some of your business. I know some of you that are tired of 9 to 5. You start coming late, especially those who are on a call center. You stay in idle longer than what you're supposed to instead of being available for phone calls. We've been there. Yeah, I've had my share of burnouts. And so my last job was I was a paralegal at it was for a large company. I'm not going to say the name, but it was for a large fintech company. Many of us use their services, and not don't realize it. But yeah, I was a paralegal for that company, and essentially, I was fired, but I usually don't like to say fired because I did get severance pay. It was almost like they pushed me out of the company in so many words. But that was an eye awakening for God really pushing me into entrepreneurship, because the moment I did let go of that job, I end up going full-time photographer. And when I tell you things started to accelerate from there, I've been full-time entrepreneur for, I believe it's going on 5 years now. And I promise you, leading up to that moment was like one of the scariest moments in my professional career, because it's unknown. You don't know what to expect on the other side. You don't know everything that's available to you. Sometimes it seems like you're the only one out there doing the work, and it was just a lot. But I'm grateful, number one, that my family was patient, and has been patient, and still are being patient, because a life of an entrepreneur is a roller coaster. It's up and down, and we have great moments, and then we have moments. I'm bald, but I just want to pull something off my head, just because it's just what it is. It's just the world. That's the industry of entrepreneurship. Um, so that's how I got into businesses.
How has that been, that journey?
Interesting. A lot of ups and downs. I'm definitely grateful for the ups, and I'm surprised of as many ups that I've had too. It's allowed me to do a lot of traveling. I've actually traveled to do branding work for individuals in New York, Florida, Atlanta, Houston. I've been to Chicago. And so it's allowed me to do a lot of traveling, and I have more to come. I'm supposed to be going to Florida end of this month to do some branding. I'm supposed to be going to New York next month as well to be doing some branding. So, yeah.
I see proclaim the word saying many make it seem so easy, and being an entrepreneur, it is not. And I think a lot of times, outside looking in, when you see, the posts and people doing things, it's like, oh man, I should quit my job today and start business, and I'll make
Mhm.
all this money. And it's like, no, there is a lot of like sleepless nights and trying to figure
Mhm.
out, how can I be more creative? How can I get the word out about what I'm doing, or
Yeah.
just figuring out what am I doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can share.
I mean, it is like you have to really figure out how to make this thing work. There are a lot of books out there. There are a lot of seminars and webinars regarding entrepreneurship, but it's not the same when you are actually in it, because you have to deal with the reality of who your audiences are. You have to deal with the reality of that your family and your friends are not your customers. As much as we get upset about them not supporting us, they're not your customers. And so you're stretched and challenged to find ways to market yourself to
Mhm.
complete strangers who have no idea who you are, but can only trust what work you are putting out. That's a lot. That's
Yeah,
a lot. And so yeah, it takes a lot of endurance, patience. You're going to have nights where you want to cry. You're going to have nights where you want to scream. You're going to have nights where you're just excited, overjoyed, because opportunities do come,
mhm.
but you have to get past the point of being you have to get the uncomfortable with taking risks. You have to get past that part, because entrepreneurship is a risk within itself. And if you're not okay with taking risks, I'm not going to say use the word comfortable, because I don't like comfortable. Comfortable and complacent for entrepreneurship actually leads to red sales, like as far as like going down on your sales. Like, so I would not recommend using those words, but you have to get used to taking risks. You have to get used to, like someone said, you have to get comfortable with being
Yeah.
uncomfortable. That is absolutely true.
Listen, I even going back to um, what you said about realizing and being okay. It's hard, but being okay with your circle and your family not being your clients, even
Mhm.
though, you know that they should be,
Mm.
even though
Mm,
you're thinking, don't
I
y'all
don't
want?
agree with that. I don't agree with that. A business cannot sustain on the support of a family and friends. You cannot
Oh
sustain
no.
and you cannot scale. And the sooner you separate, like, hey, I'm finna bring your words back to you. As soon as you cut the ties, the business ties from your family,
Mhm.
the sooner that you're going to start to see better growth and success for your business. I do believe that there are certain levels of support, and I think it's important for entrepreneurs to communicate what that support looks like,
Yeah.
and not necessarily saying, "Oh, you got to support me." No, like let's spell it out for them. What are ways that you can support? Hey, did you mind posting this on your social media page?
Right.
Did you mind sharing this flyer? Don't repost it. Actually, post the flyer yourself. You can give them things to say pertaining to that. Or if you are a service-based business, hey, did you mind coming with me capturing some behind the scenes footage for me? Like those are ways that family and friends can support business without them being customers. And I feel like when we learn to leverage our family members and our friends in that way, then we become less stressed and overwhelmed and burnt out because we're trying to market to them, not realizing that they're not actually your customer.
Now, I believe that they can be. That's just Jonathan speaking. I believe that they
Mhm,
can be. And I believe in doing so,
mhm,
I think being a great support is understanding, okay, if that's your price, that's your price. I don't need you to
mhm.
give me the friend discount. I don't need you to give me the family discount. Hey, you have a business
That
just
is
like
true.
anyone else.
Mhm.
I will pay full price there. So why would I not respect you enough to
Yeah.
pay the full price you offer? So
Mhm.
I agree definitely
Yeah.
on not your family being your full supporting client, but I do
Mhm.
believe that they can be. They can.
Yeah. And you know, the interesting thing though, I'm going to play the devil's advocate
Okay.
because we put blame, or I don't want to say blame, we put emphasis on family requesting discounts. But I also believe it's how we present ourselves as business owners and entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
If if it appears that you are running a hobby and not a business,
Mm.
then it's more likely they're going to come and solicit discounts and free stuff and, oh, what can you do for me, you know?
Hmm.
But when they notice that you have certain things in place, like you have policies, you have service of process, you have contracts, you have a sales process, you have bylaws, you have a business plan. When they see these things, I don't think they're going to approach you in that same respect. And I say this because I look at my own interaction with my family. Very seldom has anyone in my family came to me and asked for a discount. No one, I honestly, there's only one person she gonna give me, my mom. She the only person that said, I want to know what can I get a discount for, you know, but ultimately she still pays, you know, she still pays, she respects the time, and she understands the production work that I put. Because it's not just snapping pictures. I have to edit these things. I have to spend time doing it. So they respect that. But outside of that, no one in my family has asked me to do a discount. Now, there were some friends that joke around and said, "Yeah, I can't get a discount." But I think once they realized that I had things in place, I had processes, and then at some point I even had an assistant, they stopped asking for discounts. They just want to know, what do I have right now? And if it's too much out of their budget, okay, I'll come back. But I think it's how we present ourselves, and this is why I'm so passionate, because I was doing some research. Okay, I was doing research about branding.
Hmm.
This is one of my favorite quotes I like to, or what do you call it, stat that I like to share. Let me see if I remember, because I haven't said it in a while. So I believe it was in 1951, 1951
Hmm.
or 1958. It was in the 1950s. Okay, the life expectancy of a brand was about 60 years. Okay, as of 2019, the life expectancy of a brand decreased down to 10 years.
Wow.
And so the reason why that stat really sparked something inside of me is because, like, me being a man of faith, being a father, and having a family, you know, a lot of things that I'm doing now, it's all about building legacy.
Hmm.
And I realized that you cannot build a legacy with something of a 10-year lifespan. So I began to ask the hard questions: why are businesses not lasting as long as they used to? Is it a contribution of social media? Do we just not expect business to be that long? And then if you go even further, You find that the businesses are most at risk of surviving within the first 10 years anyway,
Hmm.
let alone the first year. I believe the it's like 80% of businesses fail within the first year. And it has to do with the ignorance of what it takes to run a business, because there are two types of people in a business there. And I can't take this credit for myself. That is a book that I read. There's the technician, and then there is I believe it's the administrator. Like, and I think there might be a different term for it. But when we think about running a business, we really think about the technician side. We come from the 9 to 5. We're fed up with working.
Hmm.
We're like, I don't want to work for nobody. And so what we do is we take our talents, we take our gifts, and we work for ourselves. And we are doing the work still. So we went from working a 9 to 5 to working probably 20 hours every single day. And that's if we get enough hours of sleep.
Hmm.
So, but that's not running a business. What you're doing is you've just put in an application for a whole nother business, working a 9 to 5. But running a business is where you're looking behind scenes and you're building out the infrastructure, you're building out the business plan, you're really talking through the marketing plan. Who's your audience? What's the sell price? Like, these are the questions that you have to really dive in. And once you get those things set up, you find people don't come to you any kind of way and thinking, hey, what can I do for what can I get for this rate, or what can I get? Can I get a discount? Can I get this? You got a family discount, friends and family. Very seldom do people actually ask that when they see things are in place. That was long-winded. I'm from
That's okay.
Puerto.
You're good. That's good. So for a business person or somebody that's trying to get their product out there, what would you say would be the first thing that they should do?
The first thing that you should do is you need to build a team. Okay. This team is not the traditional team that you might be thinking about. You need an accountant, a bookkeeper, an attorney. Okay. You need all three of those people. Number one, because you have to understand tax, the way the taxes are going to work for your business. The bookkeeper makes sure you understand how the cash flow is going to work for your business so that you are moving toward making profit.
Mhm.
Okay. And the attorney, here's the big thing. Okay. The attorney is so important. Here's why. Because many people who start businesses, they think that as long as I register the business with the state, that I'm protected, it's mine, I can do what I want with it. But the having like registering your business as an LLC, S corp, or whatever does not legally protect your business. That's where the federal trademark work. So this is why you need an attorney, because you don't want to look to build an empire for something that's already legally protected, because you're going to be limited geographically, you're going to be limited in what you can provide. And I think there are many of us, we don't realize how far or how grand our business can become. So this is why it's important. Number one, do your research. Do your research with what you're going to call your business and make sure it's not trademarked. Make sure there are no pending applications of federal trademark, and get those things in order. That's before you even start putting products out. Listen, you don't even have to register the business before you get a trademark. But I promise you, it saves the headache, because trademark can also become a income, a way of getting income. But that's neither here and there. But get your team, let them educate you so that you can build out your business plan. You can build out your marketing plan. All these things need to be written out, understood, before you even start launching anything and say, hey, you guys, I'm starting a new business. Like, do your research first. Okay. Um, it's a lot to start off with, and it might not be a lot for some, but it causes you to think differently. And once you get over that hump in the very beginning, then it's going to make everything else easier, because now you're not marketing to everybody and trying to do a catch-all, because a market, what did they say? Audience of all is really audience of none. So you might think I'm trying to reach everybody as much as I can because everybody can benefit from this product. But in reality, what you're saying is I have no target audience. And that will not lead you to profits for your business. Find out who your target audience is. Find out your why you're doing this. Like, these are the questions that you need to know up front. So that's what you need to do first. I told you I'm Kojic. I came from Kojic background, so I'm long-winded. I
That's
apologize.
fine. That's fine. We still got time in the show. All right. So we have gotten our team together.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten, our legal stuff. Nobody has our name or anything connected to our business. All right, got a product. Now, what is the first thing we need to do marketing wise besides call you?
That is the first thing,
Yes, money on the team.
As far as marketing, you need to understand, once you understand who your audience is, that also kind of lets you know the image of how you should present yourself. If you are marketing to the corporate world, then you're probably going to have a lot of blues and grays, straight lines, squares, like straight, those type of images, very like suit images, very like cut, like straight to the point, right? It gives you the idea how the image should look that you're marketing. And then also too, it lets you know where, we talk about placement. It lets you know where your audience is going to be. So if I'm looking to market to entrepreneurs who are new, then I'm probably going to be on TikTok or Instagram, because there are a lot of brand new entrepreneurs that are out there creating content, or they're researching content so that they can build out their work. If you're looking for somebody that's more established, you might be on Facebook or LinkedIn, because believe it or not, Facebook is still a relevant search engine for networking and connections. LinkedIn definitely is a place for professionals who are there for professional connections. If you're just looking for everyday people, then again, of course, Facebook is going to be a good place to go. So you have all these places that you can market your work. You'll know whether or not you need to do flyers versus blogging versus newsletters or just straight emails. Do you want to do text messages? But all of that stems from doing all your research. So that's how you get into the marketing phase. But again, you haven't done anything yet. You're really just planning all of this out. Like, your marketing should be, once you start planning in, everything should be scheduled, not scheduled, but like planned out, like creating your KPIs. Like, all of these things are so important. And this is why a lot of people, they don't, well, they get burnt out easily because they don't do this type of research. They think, well, let me just test this out and see who likes it. And then if they like it, and then that's my dog marketing someone else. If they like it, then yay, I got sales. But if they don't, then I'll just tweak it, and then maybe I'll just go. But then when we do that, we find ourselves become too emotionally attached to business strategy, and you cannot think strategy emotionally. And I'll leave that there.
So one, you mentioned the acronym KPI. A lot of people don't know what that is. So express what that is.
Key performance. I forgot what the I stands for. Don't judge me.
I knew that I would not have asked you. Okay.
But essentially what it is you're setting goals. There are goals that you're trying to reach. They're specific goals. It's not just I want to be successful. KPIs are like, I want to be successful is the vision. KPIs are the goals to get to the vision. So you really, indicators. Thank you.
Thank you, correct.
Indicators. Thank you, correct. So we're gonna have her on there next time.
Supposed to be on.
So what that looks like is how many How many people are you trying to reach? What's your sales goals? Are you trying to, how often are you trying to increase in sales? Well, how many leads are you trying to obtain? Even to the point of expanding your business, like, are you looking to add team members? Are you looking to find partners or investors? Like, all of these play into your KPIs. And so you're literally planning out the footwork in order to obtain the overall vision, whether it be for the 1 year plan, a 3 year, 5 year, a 10-year plan. And so, like, those are very, very important things that you need to have. And yes, I do have KPIs. When I created my LSJ Marketing Solutions, everything, like, my document is nearly, and I'm not done yet, it's nearly 40 pages long of all details pertaining to my business, including my email templates that I'm using, how frequent I'm sending out emails, the services, the descriptions, the tiers, the pricing, the terms and conditions, the contract agreement. Everything is in this document.
Mm. Well, one, so we need to make sure we have that in place.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that this business is successful, but also I want, and Corette Hill brought this up. Talk about branding and how important that is. And well, first, what is it, and then the importance of it.
So branding is the inevitable. Okay, it's the inevitable. Branding you can never get away from. You're always going to be branded. The thing is, with us, we want to take charge of branding, and branding is really the perception that your audience have of you and your business, how they feel emotionally when they connect with your business, what the ideal persona of your business, like the identity of your business. That's literally what branding is. And the reason why I'm so passionate about branding, because what we fail to realize, if we don't take control of the branding process, the people around us will brand us for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they will develop the perception of who we are. And so the reason why it's important to connect with someone that can help you with branding is because what they do is they help you build out the image, the processes, the experience, so that you are telling the customer what the perception should be. So if I want luxury, that means I'm going to build an infrastructure around luxury so that when they see my business, they have no choice but to see luxury. And that's what branding essentially is. Branding can be very expensive, because branding, I would say, is a part of marketing. So marketing is the overall umbrella. Branding sits under marketing. It's a type of marketing. Branding, necessarily, when you talk about branding, you're not actually focused per se on the client or the customer. You're really focused on building your own image. Niching, which I think a lot of people they kind of get the two confused. Niching is where you're focusing on the particular target audience. So if you have narrowed down your niche, then you might end up developing a brand catering to that niche. But branding is more commonly found, traditionally found, I would say, with larger incorporations. So when you think about Burger King, Nike, McDonald's, that's all branding, because it takes a lot of money. A lot of money. In fact, um, I think it was from statistics. Either, I don't know if it's somewhere between 2020 and 2022, that on actually it was 2021. Look at God. So there was an average of 10 to 30% of revenue of businesses total revenue spent on marketing.
Hmm.
So to give you a realistic thing, many people, we talk about hitting six figures, and we I know we have some believers on here, so we prophesy, we decree, we speak in tongue, we do all these things for six figures, but we don't realize that In order to reach six figures, that means you have to invest at least 10% of what you're expecting to reach in revenue. So
Mhm.
that means if you're trying to reach $100,000 in revenue, then your marketing should be at or around $10,000. Now, it's not guaranteed that you will reach six figures because there are other factors that you have to put into place in order
Mhm.
to make that happen. But it's more than likely to happen because of the amount of investment. And so you have a lot of people who don't want to spend any money. They like to shortcut. And I get it. We have to be, um, what's the word? I know we have to be wise with our spending, especially when we're in the beginning. But when we take the mindset of investment, then you are expecting a return, and the return might not come right away. It might take 365 days. But the thing is that there will be a return, as long as you put everything in place. So it's, I said all that to say that's what branding really is. It's not a cheap process, it's an investment. And only those who understand investments truly find themselves branding.
So yeah, Miss Sally says, does branding help to separate your business from others that do the same thing?
It can, if you play the cards correctly and if you ask the right questions, if you learn to identify the value in what you're providing, then it can definitely separate you from a competition, essentially, that are doing the same thing. There are tons of photographers everywhere. There are tons of marketing consultants. I'm sorry, Jaden. There are tons of marketing agents everywhere, but I have to learn how to identify what sets me apart, and I have to leverage that. And I build my branding with that.
Hmm. Okay. And well, you're a photographer, so I want to
Mhm.
touch on that definitely before we get out of here. Give us some photographer etiquette on, because I know you deal with all types of things. But we all need pictures. I mean, pictures are important,
Mhm.
definitely dealing with marketing. And so tell us
Correct.
some things that we need to know to have a great relationship with our photographer.
Number one, know what you need. Um, like be involved. Like I've come across a lot of clients who have no idea what they want, and they want the photographer just to put everything together and just like boom, here it is. But no, especially coming from a business point of view, like I give homework to my clients. Like you're not about to smooth sell this thing. You're about to work for this thing because it's an investment. So I want you to come to this session confident and knowing exactly what you want to accomplish from this photo shoot. So that's the main thing. Know what you want. As you find out what you truly want, then you need to do your due diligence in finding the right photographer that's going to give you that value, not the price. Many of us, when we look for photographers, we look for discounts, deals, promotions, and we say, "Oh, let me go ahead and do this." No, because that photographer might not specialize in what you are in need of. We niche photographers. We niche. We might have like other services that we do, but let's face it. Don't go to a wedding photographer to brand you. Don't go to a headshot photographer for birthday party. The work is different, especially if you're looking for. I say this for people that are branding because pictures essentially are your employees.
Hmm.
They're your employees. They're working for you. They're making you money
Yeah.
in your sleep. They're making you money. They're going places and they're going across the world in areas that you may never step foot in. Or they're providing the doorway for you to go into those places. So when you're thinking in that respect, then yes, you want to make sure that the right recruiting agency is going to connect you with the right employee,
Hmm.
and that recruiting agency would be the photographer. Do I have the right photographer that's going to produce the right work? And as you're looking at that photographer, look for the consistency, because I have been around a lot of photographers that are upcoming, and they take one picture and they're ready to go start, like, hey, book me as a photographer. And no, you don't do that. And I even try to tell photographers that are upcoming, like, no, like, learn a little bit, develop yourself, your craft, before you just start saying, book me. Um, but see how consistent they've been doing the work. How long have they been showing that quality? If they've been doing photography for 5 years and just within the last 3 months the work has been good, then that might not be the best photographer, because there's, to me, that's not enough consistency to show that they're going to do well for your shoot, because every session is different. Every session is different. I even have that in my terms of agreement. Know that every session is different, and because we have all different, unique, what's the word? I can't think of it, conflicts or whatnot, that challenges. There it is. We have different challenges that we could face for each session, depending on where we're shooting and all that, right? And so look for that consistency. So that's what I would say. Number one, know what you want, be involved, research a photographer, and look for the consistency.
So if we show up and they have a disposable camera, we need to leave.
Absolutely. Well, you should. You shouldn't have even gotten that point, because a disposable camera is not going to give you the quality. It's going to have those hard flashes. And I'm not a big fan of filters. And I think it's just because the work that I do it's very straightforward for people to use for their business. So I tend to not gravitate toward filters. But if you're going to be doing using pictures for your business, don't pick a photographer that use a lot of filters, and minimize. This is for the whole world. Minimize the AI images. Get a photographer.
Mhm. I haven't gotten one. I tell myself to do it just to see how it look.
I have one. Like, I use it for some of my marketing work, but I have enough real pictures to balance them, right? So that's why I'm able to use it. But I see some that's all they use is AI images, and I get it. It's affordable. The work is cute. It gets the job done. But people want real. They want to see you. If you're going to be doing a service based business, and they're going to be working with you in person, show them who you're going to look like in person. Some of these AI images, like the one that I've been using, it knocks some weight off. So I'm feeling myself, and I know a lot of people out there, they feeling themselves because they've got this skinny AI. And I know, at some point, because I've been going to the gym, but at some point I'm coming to the photo shoot out of breath, and just like him is sweating and everything. And I'm like, that's not what they saw leading up to me. And this is why you guys need to register for my free masterclass that's coming up. It's called Marketing the Journey. It's about creating a customer experience. And I talk about things like this. So yeah, I just want to do that shameless.
No, please tell us what it is and how we can support it.
Yeah, so I am as a way of launching the LSJ Marketing Solutions, I'm offering a free masterclass October 2nd, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. It is absolutely free. There's no gimmicks. There's no, like they say on the App Store, in-app purchases. Like, no, there's none of that. And what we do is we really talk about creating a great customer experience. How your customer experience looks from start to finish. And also, too, we talk about how your pricing your customer experience can impact how high or how low you can price your services. And I'm gonna use this as an example. Okay. Think about a store. Customer experience is not just when they come inside the store, it's their journey on the way to your store. Because we just think about when you go to a grocery store, especially on a Sunday around the holidays, what's the first thing we complain about when we go to the grocery store? You can guess it.
Crowded, less food on the shelves.
Parking.
Oh. Well, yeah, that too.
Parking.
That too.
Everybody complains about parking when they go to a grocery store during the holidays or on a Sunday because everybody's there. So automatic right then and there, your customer experience starts while you're on the way to the parking lot. How far away is the store? That's customer experience. Somebody may not choose to go to your store because of the distance, or if for some of us that are working digitally or online, it might not be relevant. That's customer experience, right? So that's what we talk about, and I give you the tips that you need to know in order to really build out a great customer experience. So when you charge what you charge, you when you charge what you charge, you're able to stand on it, and people will enjoy what you're giving. They're not going to look at the price. They're going to become desensitized to the price because of the experience.
So, how can people get connected to find out or go to this masterclass?
Yes, so you can go directly to LSJ, L as in Lawrence, S as in Sally, J as in Junior.
Uh-huh.
That's my name. MarketingSolutions.com, and it's right there on the main page. It'll direct you to signing up. The calendar is a little confusing because it looks like it's saying the current date, but that's just because it defaults to today's date. So you have to literally click over to October, and you'll see two highlighted where you can select it and register. But LSJMarketingSolutions.com, that's how you're able to register for the free masterclass.
All right, now put it on the screen.
I
And so
appreciate
those
it. It
that
looks great.
are wanting to be a part of this, and who should be a student for this class?
So honestly, the masterclass is really targeted to those who are trying to they're like new people that are starting businesses, people who are frustrated about pricing because customer experience plays heavily on pricing, um, and just business owners who wants to vamp up their customer experience.
Awesome. I don't know if this is your wheelhouse, but we did have a question
Yeah.
from Upfront Enterprise.
Oh, what is the best process and how to start hiring for employees? You try. Why don't you book a free coffee chat with me? No, I can answer that question. And someone actually helped me with this. So there's several ways to start expanding your business with individuals. Number one is the traditional way, the W 2, but obviously that's not going to be common for entrepreneurs who are within 5 years. You're more likely not going to hire an employee to do work because that's a lot of tax work that you have to understand. Federal, Social Security, you got to know all of that, right? So that's one way. The other way is to contract people. When you contract people, that's a 1099. So you're not responsible for having insurance or anything like that. And also what you're paying them could be written as an expense for tax write-off. And that's very straightforward. Um, and then for those who are really just starting and they need the help but don't have the money to even pay contractors, you can always go into internships. There are college students who um, they need credits in order to graduate. You can even leverage family and friends. That's another area of support. They can kind of do work for you. And who? How about that? So you can offer discounted services or services to them if they dedicate so many hours of work for you. How about that?
Mhm.
So that could be office work. Every business needs an administration team. I don't care if you're in a car wash, if you're a plumber, if you are electrician, like the most common blue collar jobs, like every business needs an administrative team. So don't think that because I'm doing this type of work that, oh, you have to be with me on the field. No, you need somebody to manage invoices. You need somebody to answer calls, sales, all of this, right? So leverage people to use them in those areas. But internships, you can also do mentorship. So people who wants to learn your industry and they want to grow in your industry, you can mentor them, and in exchange for mentoring them, they have to volunteer so many hours a week or a month to help you and your business. So those are ways to expand or hire help for your business. I hope that was helpful for you.
I hope so too, actually. And so, last words on letting someone know, some tips or lasting words that you want them to leave with, and not only going to your website to sign up for your masterclass that is happening October what?
Yeah, October 2nd.
Okay, what other last words that you want people to leave with?
Um, it was just there too. It was good,
It's
Jonathan. It
gonna
was
come back. It's gonna
good.
come back.
Oh my goodness. So the biggest thing that I want to leave with you is don't let your passion be the only reason that you start business. Passion can come and go because passion can be something tied or connected to emotionalism.
Mhm.
But find strategy to keep you in business. Okay. Start with passion because it's usually the easiest. That's usually most close to our gifts and our talents and what we can do. Um, but once we find what that is, switch over to the intellectual side and find strategies that will keep you when you're not motivated, keep you when you're not inspired, keep you when you don't have the sales, when some things are not working. Learn to detach from the emotional side because number one thing that I find in black communities is that we don't start businesses with an end goal. Like we don't start businesses with a plan or exit strategy, meaning I'm starting this business so that I can sell it. Because honestly, that's how you truly create assets from business is when you start the business to sell it, or you buy businesses that are already built and you hire people to operate them in, right? Those, I believe that's the ultimate goal because time is so valuable. And many of us, we start businesses because we lost time in the 9 to 5, but we don't realize when we come into like owning our own business, we don't get the time back because we're constantly building and changing and restructuring and pivoting and all of this, right? So get to a place where you have time and you get paid. And so passion is good. It's a great start. It's good to keep you inspired and motivated in the beginning so that you're not easily discouraged. But once things start to really pick up, switch over to the intellectual side, start strategizing so that you can keep going when the love isn't there. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's first acknowledge that upfront enterprise. Thank you for your response for the employment hire.
Yeah.
And she said she'll be a client. So
Yeah,
it's definitely good to know upfront enterprise. We definitely
absolutely. I would
correct
love to work with you.
that dropped some nuggets tonight. And we are definitely grateful for it.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to thank first the audience for being a participant in the conversation. Of course, I always say that this is a conversation for all of us. It's not just me, the host, and our special guest, but we're all having this conversation together. And I want to thank you for taking out some time to join us tonight and to, as I said, drop some nuggets and then also help us business owners and organization leaders to push our business to help us understand what we need to do to get it out there
Yeah,
and steps that we need to take to make sure that we are staying above water. And so,
absolutely.
and of course, I want people, I still have it on the bottom of the screen. If you can go to lsjmarketingsolutions.com and make sure you check him out. He does so many great things for marketing and photography. He'll come, listen, he'll come to you.
I
He
will.
will come to you. And I want to make sure that we be a blessing to this business as he will be a blessing to you. I
Yeah.
definitely want to thank all of y'all. We'll definitely have him back. There's so much more that he can definitely share with us.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm excited. Next week, we'll have Anthony Henderson on the show. But and then after that, we'll have what's going on with Miss Kimberly Scott. So, Kimberly Scott Brown, please excuse me. So excited to see what we are bringing on the show. And I pray that you continue to watch us and be with us as we continue to move forward with Today Is Your Day. But I also want you always to realize and understand that it doesn't have to be your birthday for today to be your day.